I had very limited prior experience with coaching, and I wasn't convinced that it could have the kind of impact that it ended up having. So for example, skeptical. It's always been about how much I put into it, but it always felt like I was never pushed beyond what I was bringing into the conversation. With your coaching, with this organization, I introduced topics, I brought in things that I wanted to work on, but it never stopped there. It always was brought further. Like, I always felt challenged to think bigger, do more, work harder to get to a far different place than I'd even thought about when I came into the conversation. Where, like, my very limited prior experience with coaching was very much around, if I hadn't thought of it, we didn't ever get there. One of the things that I really liked about not just you and the coaches I've worked with through your organization, but the entire system setup is around creating an environment and a structure that enables the person to think beyond what they've been thinking before. I'm thinking in terms of the career planning, the classes, the very questions that you guys ask in the coaching situation. Like, on multiple occasions when I was in talking about a particular topic, I always felt like, you would hold up a mirror and ask me the tough questions to really rethink where I'm limiting myself or where I'm putting constraints or confining my own self, and being encouraged to think bigger, broader, more expansively around not just what's in front of me, but what I can do or where I can end up. And that has been literally the most enabling, unlocking, energizing thing, is the sheer number of epiphanies that have been unlocked, that have fundamentally transformed not just where I am in my career, but where I'm heading. When I first came into the coaching, I was focused on addressing a specific situation at work, and was encouraged to not just think beyond that situation, but to think more broadly about how this affects my entire career trajectory in the past and trajectory moving forward. But I also felt like there was that one moment where you held up the mirror and said, is this really what you want to be working on? Is this really the thing that is most critical? And that unlocked a conversation around how I was limiting myself in my own career trajectory based on the confines of the organization I was in. And so the reminder to think beyond my current organization, the reminder to think beyond what's possible there and to think what's possible more broadly, which massively unlocked a ton of potential and thinking that I had just inadvertently closed myself off to. The other thing was to start separating, there was multiple major epiphanies, but that was one that literally changed the correct trajectory of my career. I left that company. I've moved into an entirely different space. I'm working at a completely different level, and I'm genuinely excited about not just what I'm doing, but where I'm going and where I'm able to lead and take the company and the team I'm managing at this time. But another drastic epiphany was just the role I play as a leader and the strengths and skills I bring to that as something that's not tied to, linked, or confined by my function. And so that was a pretty massive epiphany that unlocked another range of thinking around my trajectory and what's possible and what's capable. But it also changed the narrative, a bunch of conversations. So different functions have different power in different conversations, and understanding the power that your function has as something separate from the power the leadership you as an individual have has helped me navigate conversations and situations to really benefit not just the organization, but what I would like to accomplish as a leader and with my function fundamentally differently. And it's unlocked great conversations and great opportunity. I think tangible outcomes have been both like the career shift and trajectory. So I left a large company, entered small startup pre-IPO, fundamentally changed the focus of my role in what I'm doing. And so now I am a leader in UX, leading a cross-functional UX team and working on really exciting, interesting projects, as opposed to being, one of many in a very large corporation that can have very, very focused impact. I'm having very broad impact. That is doing things that I get excited about. I'm seeing the impact on the revenue. I'm seeing the impact on the trajectory of the company. I'm seeing the impact on the customer experience and the end user experience. And so these are things that I find very energizing, and it's very exciting to me. And then that is some of the tangible impacts, some of the very clear and definitive impact, and just the change that I'm able to drive in the organization across the function, and how we engage with the function that I lead, and how we engage with the other functions at the company, and the impact we're having there is really exciting, some tangible things. So there's a couple of things that I always say, right? Like, if you're going to do the financial investment, and you should, right? You have to be committed, and you have to understand that you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So at different parts of the process, I have been swamped by work, and every time I got swamped by work and it limited the amount of investment I did in this, I was disappointed with myself. I know but the key thing is, every time I've made the investment and I've honored the commitment, especially with this organization, what I've gotten out of it has been fundamentally transformative. I am happier. I am less stressed. I have a stronger career trajectory. I'm in a stronger leadership role. I'm doing exactly what I want to be. Like, every part of my life has been unlocked and benefited. Well-being, work-life balance, the impact I'm having at work, the things I get to do at work, the conversations, the level of leadership, the engagement at all levels of the organization, to include the most senior C-suite executive conversations I'm part of. The fact that the work I'm doing is impacting the direction the business is going fundamentally are things that would never have been true had I not made that investment in myself. And so when you're looking at it from the front side, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. The reality is, you have to invest in yourself to get where you want to go. And for me, the investment I made financially into coaching has unlocked financial opportunities that I never would have dreamed of before. But even more, it's made me happier, more relaxed, and far more challenged at the same time, and way more excited about what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. The work Marie and her team have done, that is what's unlocked me. Like, prior coaches did nothing compared to what Marie and her team has done. And so I was like, my prior company paid for coaching, and it was not great. What Marie has done, the epiphany she and her team have enabled for me, the work, the structure, the class Marie put together, the conversations I've had with Marie and her team, those are the things that have fundamentally changed my life for the better and made for an outstanding experience and a very worthwhile investment.